What up, everyone? Welcome back to Week by Week, post Super Bowl edition. So we're getting into the off season. There's a lot of interesting stuff, to talk about, obviously. And eventually we're gonna do an official week by week mock draft, but that'll be coming up soon. But Tyler, hit me with your Super Bowl thoughts.
Well, I would have never expected the Chiefs to only score 9 points. I'll start off with that. It wasn't really on Patrick Mahomes. That offensive line was horrendous. There's actually a photo that's out of the two offensive linemen holding each other for the Chiefs. I thought that was pretty funny. But, I mean, the receivers dropped balls on throws that Patrick Mahomes made somehow, and I don't know how he even made those throws. But even then, 9 points. That offensive line was just terrible. But, again, to the Buccaneers, Tom Brady's the GOAT. There's no debate. Defense played amazing. And pressure almost every single play. Probably every single play, if we're being honest. Jason Pierre-Paul had a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about his stat line, but I know he had a sack or two, and I know he tipped a couple passes, got some big tackles. Shaq Barrett had a big game. The pass rush was just there for the Buccaneers, and honestly, it was a blowout. Buccaneers won without any competition.
Listen, and you can vouch for this, and if anyone watching this doesn't believe me, go to my YouTube channel and watch my NFL playoff predictions video. I had the Buccaneers coming out from the beginning.
Yep.
I didn't have them winning, but I did have them coming out.
In my first one, I had Seattle, but then I did a second one like a few hours before it actually happened. I had the Saints making it.
The Saints?
I was wrong. Because they had just picked it up as of late towards the end of the season. I'm like, damn, okay. I mean, they're playing the Bears in round one, which, I mean, I love my Bears, but, we weren't a threat.
That walk-off touchdown by Jimmy Graham, he just walked out.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
I
love that, though.
But, I mean, yeah, as far as the Super Bowl goes, it wasn't, like, from a viewer standpoint, it wasn't the most entertaining.
That was better than the Patriots and Rams Super Bowl a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't the final score like 13-3?
Yep.
That was terrible.
It was terrible.
But, yeah, congrats to Tom Brady. He's 7? Yeah, 7.
Yep, 7 Super Bowls.
Man, I don't care what anyone says. If you truly don't think, career-wise, legacy-wise, number-wise, whatever, that Brady isn't the GOAT, I think you have some mental issues you need to get worked out.
Yeah, I mean, there's no debate. There is none.
I mean, obviously, Super Bowl MVP, I want to talk about Gronk for a second.
Gronk had an amazing game.
Gronk caught the first touchdown pass of the game, and he caught another one, I think, in the second quarter sometime. Bro, Gronk is hilarious, man.
I love Gronk.
I was watching videos of like them in the locker room after the win.
Yeah.
And Tom, the young guys were going crazy, and Tom Brady was just kind of standing there like the father. Like he was like, man, I've done this before.
Yep.
And they were all making jokes at someone. Because someone in the locker room, I think is like 20, like one of the players.
I think it was Antoine Winfield.
They were making jokes at him because they were drinking, and Gronk said something. Gronk was like, "Man, you ain't even old enough to drink this shit." And dude, it was funny, dude.
It was probably Antoine Winfield.
I think it was Antoine Winfield. Man,
Well, that little peace sign he did a Tyreek Hill though in the game.
I thought
that was pretty funny.
Let's talk about Tyrann Mathieu.
He's a punk. I don't care what anyone says. He's a punk.
I mean, obviously, Tyrann Mathieu's a hell of a player, but he got exposed a little bit.
He did.
But, I mean, I'm not going to, go into the details of what he claimed Brady said for the purpose of the show, but, he claimed Tom Brady said some pretty vulgar things, and I don't know, man. It's just...
I know in one of the clips that I saw, you could actually read his lips saying, "I'm coming to you."
Yeah, you can read... He said he was going to throw it at him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he told Tyrann Mathieu before halftime, he said, "I'm throwing the ball your way." Like, he was daring Mathieu to try to pick him off. And, of course, Tyrann Mathieu never did.
Yeah, you go.
But,
Brady threw a touchdown to the man he was covering.
I know.
You know what was funny, though? I was actually watching that play. Gronk was wide open right behind Brown, like to the left a little bit. I mean, wide open, and Brown had Matthew behind him, and he threw to Brown.
Oh yeah, that's
I thought that was
one.
pretty funny.
You know, no matter how you feel about AJ Brown, I'm sure the NFL world has mixed opinions on him. But big congrats to Antonio Brown. Said AJ Brown.
I was a little confused there.
Yeah, not AJ Brown. Antonio Brown. You know, it's. I never thought.
I've not heard much on him recently, but I'm surprised.
I know they're there for a little while. He was facing some charges, and he wanted to retire from the NFL to pursue rapping, and his rap songs sucked.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
He's something else. Like
he's a character. He's a character.
Yeah, he's something.
But Tampa Bay's got some key guys in free agency that they got to re-sign.
Shout out to Mike Evans for actually taking a pay cut just to keep some of those guys around. I mean, that's just I respect that.
Mike Evans is a good guy.
100%. I really respect Mike Evans.
Is Shaq Barrett's a free agent, isn't he?
Brown, Gronk,
JPP. I think Godwin is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Godwin. I think that's about it.
That's big losses if because Shaq Barrett, whether it's by the Buccaneers or someone else after that playoff run, Shaq Barrett's going to get paid. Which of course I mean
he got tagged last year.
Which I mean of course a year ago he led the league in sacks, but I mean he showed in the playoffs this year, especially against Green Bay, that he is that man.
He's hot.
I want to talk about Devin White for a second.
Devin White is a beast. Dude. A lot of people actually don't like him because he struggles in coverage. But this man, I mean, even in the playoffs, he picked it up a notch. And Devin he was probably the best player on that defense.
Devin White was everywhere in that Super Bowl. Everywhere. I mean...
It was crazy.
But, yeah, no, I mean, it wasn't the most entertaining Super Bowl. I guess, from a viewer standpoint, it was cool to see Brady win another, I guess. I mean, I'm
not a huge fan of Brady just because he always wins in that whole deflating the footballs incident. But I got to give respect when respect's due.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, no other way to put it. But you want to move on?
Real quick though, I just want to see your thoughts on this. So this kid at my school, he shared a post. It said Devin White is now the best linebacker in the league. The best linebacker, not middle linebacker. Of all the linebackers.
Just your thoughts on that. Any guy labeled linebacker.
Any guy labeled linebacker.
That is the dumbest shit I think I've ever heard.
Yes. I mean, Devin White's a good player and everything, but that's pushing it a lot.
I mean, and he's still young. He's got a lot of room to grow, but...
Oh, yeah. I think he is maybe middle linebackers. Top 10, French top 10. Just off the top of my head, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head, but he's probably French top 10, maybe just in the top 10. But
he's a beast though.
Let's talk about old Carson Wentz. We when all the trade rumors first came out, we tried for an hour to get a live reaction to upload for the podcast, but we couldn't get it. Never happened. Yeah, nothing still has happened.
Yeah, that's kind of shocking.
Eventually, we've seen that the Bears were apparently closing in on a deal, it was all but done, and then the Eagles asked for another first-round pick, I think, and then most of the teams that were in on him backed out.
Yep, that's you just said it. Us in Indianapolis, we offered one first. I'm pretty sure the Bears' offer was Nick Foles, our first-round pick this year, and an offensive player. In return, we would get Wentz in a third. And they wanted one more first for us to do it. And I'm so glad we didn't do that. Because I'm sorry, but Carson Wentz is not worth 2 first-round picks. Probably not even 1.
Yeah, bro. If I was in a situation where we needed a quarterback, it'd take a lot of convincing, to say give up your first-round pick for Carson Wentz.
And I'm kind of iffy on it. I think Carson Wentz can still be a good player. I think he has to have the perfect system and the perfect coaching staff to do so. I'm not giving up a lot for Carson Wentz. I'm sorry. The worst quarterback in the league last year.
I seen one thing where it was and you might have sent it to me. I'm not sure, but it was this guy, he was talking about Carson Wentz, and obviously, whatever team trades for him, they want, they're gonna want him to be the Carson Wentz from a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I seen something. It was like you trade for what you're getting now, not what they used to be. And it's not saying that Carson Wentz can't still be that. It's just as of right now, 2020, February, whatever today is, 13th, he is not that guy anymore. Not right now.
I was actually watching a video on it. I actually sent it to you. It was like a film study. And you can watch him. His mechanics are just so off the way he throws. He throws towards the ground. And it would show clips from his 2017 season. It was completely different. And his footwork as of late is probably bottom of the league with Drew Lock. Like, it's falling apart.
Definitely. Yeah, he's just... He's not... Yeah, and like I said, not to say he can't still be that player, because Carson Wentz is still young. I mean, it's not like he's old. I mean, it's just... Like that person was saying, you trade for what a player is now, not what they used to be. So
I'm one of those guys that's like, okay, maybe he can be something, and then it's like, it's going to be terrible. Because as a Bears fan, I'm used to us just getting players and then just falling apart, and then going somewhere and then just absolutely shining. It's just like Leonard Floyd.
We were talking about him the other day, yeah.
I mean, he could not get to the quarterback with the Bears. Yeah, he was really good against the run. But, I mean, there was just no one opposite of Khalil Mack bringing pressure. I mean, we certainly didn't upgrade his position with Robert Quinn, Mr. $70 million man. But it's just crazy seeing these players like Chicago and then just being something. It's going to happen with Mitch Trubisky, too. I just know it.
I doubt it.
I doubt it, too. And I'm just saying. I wouldn't be mad.
I just don't think Mitch is that guy. But while we're on the topic of Carson Wentz, there's two other quarterbacks I want to talk about. Three other quarterbacks, actually. Number one, I guess technically number two, is Marcus Mariota. Mariota's been in a lot of trade rumors recently.
Yeah, I've heard.
Now, I'm a Titans fan, so I'm gonna wait to tell you what I think. So let me know how what you think, because what I'm seeing is the football team. That's who wants Marcus Mariota.
I think I'm not sure. I would bring him in, not for much. Like, if you're wanting to have like a little quarterback competition, sort of what the Bears did with Foles and Trubisky. Not that did anything, but I just think that proves who the better player is. So, I mean, if you wanted to bring in a Mariota, maybe have him and Heineke go at it, maybe bring in someone else, I don't know, but I'm not trading much for Mariota just to have a quarterback competition.
No.
I mean, you could talk me into a fifth. I'm not giving up anything more than a fourth. Maybe not even a fifth, we're being honest.
Right now, for where Mariota is, I'd give up a fourth at most.
You could talk me into a fifth, but that's it.
But I mean, I still think, Mariota had a couple really good years, and in Tennessee, his early years, and I mean, he went through 3 different coaches, constantly changing schemes. I mean, it was just, and
I actually am a fan of Mariota. It's just like there's so many question marks.
See, everyone thinks I hate Mariota. I love Mariota.
I know you love him. I
still have a Mariota jersey, and I still wear it. I love Mariota, but I love the guy. When Tannehill came in and took his place, Mariota didn't complain, never caused any drama. He was just a chill guy, and he's been a chill guy since the day we drafted him.
I love players like that. Even like Nick Foles. Like, Nick Foles is the definition of that.
It's literally terrible,
really love the guy he is.
It's literally terrible, though, how bad the Titans' draft history is as far as quarterbacks. It's miserable.
What are some of your recent guys?
After the McNair era, we drafted 3 quarterbacks in the top 5, and they were all either out of the league or backups within like 4 years.
Oh, I know one of them. He's like, oh God, what's his name? You know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Still in the league is Blaine Gabbert, I think.
We didn't draft Gabbert.
Oh, it wasn't Gabbert.
Gabbert was a top 10 pick, but Gabbert was just a backup for us a couple years ago.
Who's the backup for Tampa Bay? The lawn care dude, was it him?
Gabbert's the backup in Tampa Bay.
That is Gabbert?
Yeah, but it's not Gabbert that you're thinking. We didn't draft Gabbert.
It was in that draft. I'm
Actually,
pretty
I
sure.
think the Jaguars might have drafted Gabbert.
I'll search it up.
Yeah, he only was a Titan for like a half a season, like 2 years ago.
I'll search this up.
I mean, you could be thinking of he's not in the NFL anymore, but you could be thinking of Vince Young. We took Vince Young.
It wasn't Young.
We took Vince Young in 2006, I think number 3. And of course, there was a guy in between that, but I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. He was a literal like a bum, like more of a bum than Vince Young.
Yeah. But yeah, he got drafted to the Jaguars.
And then of course we took Mariota. And for a while it looked like Mariota was gonna work out, hence why I bought his jersey. But I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where like I think Mariota can still be a good player. I mean, because I don't want to say he didn't get a chance in Tennessee, because he definitely did. But I mean, when you go through 3 head coaches, all the injuries he had to, to go through, it's just hard for me to call him a bad player when, really, I don't know.
Well, it was Jake Locker. Bro, y'all drafted Mike Ditka?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro, it's shitty. But
yeah, it was Jake Locker who I was thinking of.
That's who I was thinking of that I couldn't remember, but anyway, yeah. I mean, Mariota, I think Mariota can still be a good guy. I don't know though, but let's talk about the whole Russell Wilson situation.
I don't know what's going on at this point. At first, I thought it was just like, okay, he said his thoughts, but he didn't want out. And I've even heard that he don't want out. It's just that he wants protected, and Seattle seemed fed up with that. But I mean, the dude's been probably under the worst offensive line his whole career. I mean, do you have to blame him? He's kept quiet for how many years now?
I seen a yeah, and he should have more than 1 ring. He's so deserving. But I seen a thing on ESPN not too long ago that since 2018, he starting quarterback, he's been sacked the most in the league.
Yeah, it's crazy, and the fact that he's still doing what he's doing with that amount of pressure. I mean, imagine if he had an offensive line. He could throw 50 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, he's a guy. And it looked like he was going to do that in the beginning of the season, because I'm pretty sure one of our podcast episodes is actually titled, like Russell Wilson 70 touchdowns, because that's what he
he was.
Of course, we didn't actually think he was going to do that, but he was. But, yeah, anyway, like I was saying, Russell Wilson, he's a guy, he's deserving of more than 1 ring.
Oh, yeah.
And then one more quarterback I wanted to talk about is Dak Prescott.
I don't know what's going to go on with that. I mean, I would say he'd stay, but after the whole his brother tweeting and stuff, I just don't know.
What did his brother tweet?
They left Dak out of the hype video. I told you that, and he posted something like it was like an emoji or maybe I'm thinking about Allen Robinson, but it was something along the lines.
Allen Robinson was the one that posted that.
Okay, I'm not sure what Dak's brother posted, but it was like something about that hype video, so I don't know what's going to go on there. I would hope they'd keep him after the season he was having till he got injured. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yo, I just thought of something like kind of crazy.
What?
Listen, this is completely off topic. So for the people to listen to this, I'm sorry, but imagine if like this podcast like blew up before we went to Chicago.
That would be crazy.
Like motherfuckers actually like recognized us. That'd be sick.
That would be awesome.
But anyway, that's beyond the point. Is there any other quarterbacks you want to talk about that could potentially be on the move, or?
I mean, we pretty much covered all of them, and in the last video too, like Deshaun Watson. But
what about?
Pretty sure it's.
I don't know if we've brought this up yet or not, but what about Darnold?
Oh, we've not talked about Darnold. Honestly, I think he'll be moved. I mean, I think Jets take a quarterback at 2.
Zach Wilson. But anyway.
I hope not. I like Zach Wilson. His career would just go to shit there.
I don't want Zach Wilson to go to the Falcons, though, because I want to see Zach Wilson play day 1. Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know this, Zach Wilson is my favorite prospect in this draft.
Like outside of Lawrence, or
I mean, obviously Lawrence is the best, but I mean, as far as my two favorite prospects in this draft are Zach Wilson and Terrence Marshall.
yeah, it's Terrence Marshall.
I talk all the time about Terrence Marshall.
I know. I just wasn't expecting
Whoever
that.
gets Terrence Marshall, and it's probably going to be late first, early second, somewhere in there. Whoever gets Terrence Marshall, you're getting a stud. I'm just being
If he
honest.
is the Green Bay, I swear.
I think that's a place he could end up. But I think what Green Bay needs to draft like another corner beside Jair.
I think Kevin King's gone from them.
Kevin King
After that playoff game he had. Oh my god.
Maybe they could get like a Eric Stokes or a J.C. Horn or something. But
I don't think Horn will fall.
Eric Stokes might, but I don't know. But
I don't see Horn falling that far.
Outside of Farley and Surtain, J.C. Horn's probably will probably
I think he's third,
mid first, somewhere around there. But they need. I think their main priority needs to be getting another corner beside Jair, because what they have just doesn't cut it.
Also, if you think about it too, I'm pretty sure Preston Smith's going to be released.
He needs to be, dude. He sucks.
He had a good year last year, and I'm a Bears fan. He had a good year last year. This year,
my
fell
brother,
off.
my brother, who's a Packers fan, he told me some guy that he wanted them to get, and I don't even remember who. I think it was Osai, maybe.
I do like Osai.
I like Joseph Osai.
I want him to go to Tennessee, because Tennessee's actually probably my second favorite team.
Tennessee's in the running for J.J. Watt, like one of the front runners.
I could see that. I know Chicago's up there too because his wife plays in Chicago. I just don't think we'd have the money for that. Plus bringing in Robinson, and I'd say we'd probably bring in a few veteran guys.
And whatever quarterback y'all trade for, because if y'all trade for Wentz, he's on a big deal.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen, dude. There's so many question marks with the Bears. It's pissing me off.
So let's talk about like a mock draft just for 1 second. So do you want to do like an official like our week by week mock draft?
I would be down for it.
So the way I think we would do it is I can just screen record like the mock draft on my PC, and we can just still have our audio over it, and I'll just like select the picks.
Okay. But I need to send you mine, or would you just have two of them?
What we'll do. Oh, that's actually kind of. Do you want to do like one together where like before we record we get together and decide on one together, or do you want to share like both of us make a mock draft and then I can put it on screen?
I don't know, because I think the fact that both of us having one and then talking about it and having different picks would be kind of cool. But what if we did 1 week of you and then the next week is mine? And then we talked about mainly yours, and then next week we talked about mine, vice versa.
I was gonna say that, and then the next week we can come together and do like one together, like where we discuss picks and like we'll go in depth on what a team needs. And
I'm down for that.
All right, that might be next episode, honestly, because for a while topics are gonna be kind of dry until we hear some trades, draft, stuff like that. But so let's talk about the Houston Texans.
Or shithole. I mean, it's probably down there with the Jets now.
J.J. Watt, of course, got released. A couple of what were the teams in front run for him besides the Titans?
Green Bay, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Chicago. Of course, Tennessee. You just said that. That's really all I've seen. I'm trying to think. I've seen Seattle. I just don't.
He doesn't go to Pittsburgh.
You either. I'd be so.
Green Bay. I guess it would be kind of cool to see him and TJ play together, but nah, bro, I don't want that.
I'm just saying. I actually tweeted this, and I never tweeted anything. If Akeem Hicks stays in Chicago, and we somehow got J.J. Watt, him, Hicks, Khalil Mack, Bilal Nichols, maybe even Robert Quinn if he was somewhat decent, that would be disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
That would be disgusting. That's not even fair.
The quarterback every play.
Plus, Eddie Goldman's back.
Yeah, bro. Y'all are touching the quarterback every single play.
That would be crazy. I mean, I can only dream.
But yeah, the Texans are a shithole, and of course, apparently they're not even listening to offers on Deshaun Watson anymore, which is just complete bull.
I don't get that. I don't get that.
Like, why? I don't know.
He's just going to end up sitting out the season. I mean, he's clearly fed up.
Yeah, and I don't blame him.
I don't either. Fucking DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of chips.
Bro, like I told you, I mean, if the Texans were even somewhat decent, Deshaun Watson had a damn MVP year.
Yep.
He did, bro. I mean,
who did he have to throw to?
I mean, on paper,
like, shit.
On paper, those receivers are good, but they couldn't stay healthy. I mean,
Randall Cobb's a good slot. He's just old. Brandon Cooks is always hurt.
Will Fuller's always hurt.
Yeah, man.
When Will Fuller's healthy, I mean, he's got legs. He's a good, speedy guy, but he can't stay healthy.
I'm pretty sure this season he stayed healthy for the most part.
I was gonna say I think he stayed somewhat healthy this year, but I think he's a free agent.
He had drug problems towards the end of the season.
Did he actually?
Got suspended the last 2 games.
I didn't know that.
He broke like the drug policy or something. I don't.
And I think he's a free agent anyway, so he's as good as gone.
Smoking weed don't bug me, and I don't even think the league even takes that into consideration anymore. But if it's like steroids or something, I probably wouldn't even go after him.
Yeah, I don't. As far as like weed goes, I don't. There's no point, and I don't think NBA or NFL actually tests for that anymore.
I'm almost positive the NFL don't. I don't know about the NBA.
I think the NBA and NFL do, but I think they stopped like the random like pop-up drug tests.
I'm pretty sure the NFL just quit.
Honestly, I think
Josh Gordon actually got reinstated.
I think that's good.
I don't.
Personally, I don't smoke it, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. There's not.
I don't. It's nothing like cocaine, meth, steroids.
Exactly. Like,
it's not on their levels.
I like I said, I personally don't smoke it, but I don't think that players should be tested and penalized for it.
Yeah,
fined, suspended, whatever. I don't.
Which I don't even think it is like that anymore. Because I mean, Josh Gordon got reinstated.
I mean, because there's a lot of like benefits to it. I mean, so you know, but let's talk about your Bears. Let's talk about the quarterback situation.
Honestly, I don't know what's going on at this point. I thought it was going to be Carson Wentz. Now I'm almost positive it won't be. I don't think they'll draft a guy just because of how Nagy and Pace are on the hot seat, and rookies mainly take a few years to develop. Plus, we're picking at 20, so it's not like we're going to get one of those top 4 guys.
Right.
So, also, we probably wouldn't get Mac Jones either.
Right.
So, I mean, they're probably just going to end up trading for some decent guy who's going to end up sucking. Those are just my expectations, honestly. I'm expecting maybe a 5-win season next year.
5?
Dude, have you seen our schedule?
Yeah, it's tough. Titans have a tough schedule.
Dude, if it just stayed the way it is right now, obviously I can't predict the future, but I'm saying 5 to 6 wins.
That division next year might actually just come down to Packers and Vikings.
I don't even know if the Vikings will. The Vikings they were so weird last year. They sucked. And then they picked it up. I don't know. I think they'll win 9, 10 games.
I don't remember how many weeks, but the last couple weeks they had the most consistent offense or something in the league. It was
something like that.
They had a top tier offense in the league at one point. I don't know how long it actually was or whatever, but of course the defense was terrible.
Mm-hmm. I gotta ask you this: did Justin Jefferson get robbed for offensive rookie of the year? I mean, I like Herbert, and he had an amazing year, but Justin Jefferson was just, I don't know. I mean quarterbacks always do.
I was gonna say, it's a quarterback. I mean,
it's like how many yards? Did he have 1,400 yards.
1,400 yards. See, remember I sent that to you because I was like, bro, I didn't know Justin Jefferson had this many damn yards.
I mean, I would have gave it to him. That's just my personal opinion. But Justin Herbert was amazing, so I don't think it's a toss up for me.
Yeah. But before we this week's gonna be a little bit shorter. Topics are just dry right now, but next week we're gonna We'll start probably mock draft season. That'll take up 3 episodes between mine and Tyler's, and then we'll make one. We'll make one together. But so the Titans are in a really weird spot because it's like, Clowney's open to being re-signed, which I didn't expect. Of course, and then they got a decision to make between Adoree and Corey Davis. And Desmond King's a free agent. I thought he had 1 more year, but apparently not. Listen, and I've shit on Malcolm Butler a lot, but God, Malcolm Butler cannot go back to being our number 1 corner.
No, if he's your number 1 corner, receivers are going to have a fun time playing y'all.
After they got Desmond King and he didn't have to be that number 1 corner, he was good. He wasn't
not a bad third guy. He's really not.
He's not. He's just, he can't keep up with these, top-notch receivers. Yeah, bro. I don't know. It's an interesting spot, and of course, Clowney. I'm cool if we get Clowney back on a cheap deal, but I just hope to God they don't pay him. Not after the season he had, because he was worthless.
He's hurt the whole year too. I mean, I like Clowney. He's good against the run. He don't really get sacks, but he's I wouldn't say a game changer, but he has an effect on the defense.
And Corey Davis is going to want wide receiver 1 money.
Speaking of Corey Davis, I actually read something. It was a trustworthy source. I don't know who it was, but it said the Bears were the front runners to get him.
What the hell?
That's what I was saying. I just don't see that with Mooney. I believe Allen Robinson's going to get franchise tagged. I sent you it. It was like Chicago Bears Nation. They posted it.
That would be kind of interesting though to see Corey Davis as like the number 1 guy. If Allen Robinson leaves or gets traded or whatever.
I wouldn't hate it, but I wouldn't pay him much money.
That would be interesting, but he's gonna want after the season he's gonna want wide receiver 1 money, and someone's gonna give it to him.
I do like Corey Davis, but not as a 1.
Corey Davis is so damn good after the catch, but I don't know, man.
He's not a 1. I just don't think he's a 1. I mean, I probably should be more scared than I am of our receiver situation. I think Mooney's going to be something special, man. That's just.
I do too, but Mooney's not a number 1 to me.
Nah, he's not physical enough for it. He plays like he's physical, but he just don't have the body for it.
He doesn't, but
he's a high quality too, though.
Titans got some interesting decisions to make, and I think one of our O-line, I think Ben Jones is a free agent.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Daquan Jones might be.
When will Taylor Lewan be back?
I think he'll be back. I think by training camps he'll be cleared. He recovered. Okay, that's good. He's recovered really quick, which is good.
I really like Lewan.
Lewan's a crazy ass motherfucker.
He is.
God, I'll never forget, and I know I bring this up all the time, but I'll never forget last year against the Ravens. This motherfucker beat his helmet on his head and yelled and was like yelling, "Let's fucking go!"
Yeah, that's awesome,
bro. He literally comes out in the games wearing white boy comes out wearing a fucking gold chain.
Some scary stuff.
Yeah, bro, I wouldn't mess with him. But apparently off the field, I've heard he's literally like a gentle giant, like he's a teddy bear.
Mm-hmm. That's everything I've heard too.
He's I think he's a family man. I know he's got a kid, but I don't know, as far as the mom, if they're together, but I know his kids are his world and stuff, which is good. I've always heard, off the field he's just a gentle giant, but on the field he's insane. But that's really all I gotta say. If there's anything else you want to throw in,
I wanted to just talk about the Bears' offensive line for a second, since you mentioned yours. I kind of feel like we're in a good position next year, especially with the way we picked it up throughout the season. You'll get back James Daniels. You found a hidden gem in Sam Moose for Alex Bars. He's like a free agent with I'm not sure if it's an option, but it's like a restricted kind of thing where it's like cheap money where you can bring him back. Mm-hmm. I mean, he'll be back. That's a definite. But I would put him over at tackle. So I mean, he played tackle in college. He played tackles a few games in the season, and he played really good. I wouldn't say he was amazing, but probably average to above average. Sam Mustipher played like a top 10 center in the league. I mean, he played amazing. And you put James Daniels at left guard. You have right guard and Cody Whitehair, or vice versa. I don't know who would play who. Sam Moose for center, and then I would put Bars over at tackle. And now your only question mark is that left tackle spot. And I swear to God, if Charles Leno's there next year, I'm going to lose my shit. Oh my God, man, I hate that motherfucker. He's so dingy. Like, I'll never forget one play. I think it was against the Saints. It was a run play, and the motherfucker just walks 5 feet up the field and don't even pick up anyone. And he just turns around and goes, "Oh, shit, that's my guy."
That reminds...
oh my God.
Completely unrelated, but, you've seen The Blind Side, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, Michael, when he picks up the guy and he carries him, he throws him over the fence, and the coach says, "Where were you taking him, Mike?" And he said to the bus coach, "It was time for him to go home." Bro, that's such a good movie. He said to the bus coach, it was time for him to go home, and then the coach started laughing. But
yes.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't got nothing else to say. Topics are just dry as hell.
Another good topic is like free agency predictions. We could do that.
That'd be a good
just
one.
predicting where free agents will go. I think that'd be a good one.
I mean, if anyone watching this got any topics, please comment them below. Of course,
if you know us personally, just text us.
Next 3 weeks will be probably draft content.
Maybe free agency predictions. You probably won't see many podcasts like this as much, just because topics are really dry right now. There's not much going on.
We'll get into some mock draft content the next couple weeks, talk about some free agents, and hopefully by then some trades or something will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some new drama to discuss. Who knows? But I mean, with all that being said, I guess see you boys next week. Peace out.